Hi, let me tell you about the movie Unbroken. Subscribe our channel and watch retellings of your favorite movies and TV series. Each video saves at least an hour of your time. As a teenager, Louis Zamperini is to preach in church. He is focused, and while the Holy Father reads a prayer present, it can be seen that Louis, well dressed, his hair neatly combed, and he himself is in a suit. The preacher proceeds to the part in which tells people that they need love your enemy. At this moment, it is clear that the boy is especially interested in these words. Louis is chased by the police through the city. The boy is in pretty good physical shape, so it easily overcomes barriers like fences. When he breaks away from the chase, Louis lights up a cigarette and relaxes on a small farmhouse with a drink. He is caught by the local gang, and the guys don't get along well. They mock him and beat him. It turns out that as a child, Louis was a chief who abused alcohol and smoke. The policeman returns the boy home. There a scandal awaits him with a worried mother. She worries about her son's future because of his behavior. In the next scene, Louis is hiding under stands in the stadium to watch for the athletes. The guard catches him and the boy again rushes the flight, but this since the boy's abilities remains unnoticed. He catches the eye to his brother Peter, who strongly marvels at Louis' physical form. Later, the boys start talking about Zamperini's abilities. Peter convinces his and what is needed with such data run, and he in turn take on the role of coach. They start training. Louis is growing up and now returns around the stadium showing great results. It develops discipline. The young man takes enough long distances for running because of what gets the nickname Tornado. At the next competitions for his country, he will not surprise everyone with their results. They give him the status of the fastest high school student and going to be sent on the Olympics. Trainer rejoices at his success, and Louis himself is glad that he is doing. With coach, Louis wanders along the platform in anticipation of the opposite trains. They discuss his defeat on Olympic Games. The young man himself worried about defeat in his plans to take Tokyo Olympics in 4 years. Now we are shown the events of 1943. Even though Louis turns out to be in the front, and between battles he trying to keep running. Along with other surviving members, Louis' crew is sent to search and rescue operation for aircraft, which was previously used as a source of spare parts. Flying over the ocean, the plane comes out of buildings. One of the engines breaks down and the ship roars straight in the ocean. We are moving to the running competition. Louis completes in the Olympic Games. His family is sick and worries about him, listening to the voice of the radio announcer. Man is not takes a prize at the Summer Olympic Games at a distance of 5,000 meters. He comes in 8th, but on the last lap he manages to deliver a record in 56 seconds. Through time, it turns out the addition to Louis there is still his close friend. Men drifting in the ocean on 2 inflatable rafts in looking for Earth. Already completely dehydrated on the first day, they notice the plane that flies over the ocean. Louis sends out signal fire, but attempts are failure. During spent in the water, they are overtaken by a storm. Fortunately, they manage to survive. In German for a month, they can't feel the solid ground under your feet. On the 27th day, they are noticed by the enemy Japanese plane. He fires at the rafts but misses. After 6 days, one of Louis' comrades dies. 47th day becomes for the young fatal people because they are captured by Japanese sailors. Heroes are taken to prison and interred from interrogated to get information about the approaching military actions. They are interested in new bombers and bomb sites. Louis tells the Japanese that they flew on old models, drawing faulty models of aircraft on paper. Further, shown cruel scene with the humiliation of a man. To him ordered to completely undress and stand knees on wooden boards. You're preparing to face death, alone in fear of them even starts to pray. However, instead of execution, they are washed and sent to Japan. When they arrive instead destination, men are separated from each other and sent straight to prisoners of war camps. Louis ends up at Camp More and Tokyo. There him to face in the cruel, cold-blooded Japanese Corporal Mutsuhiro Watanabe, who leads the camp. Corporal especially can't endure the presence of Zamperini. He often takes out her anger and him in aggression. a severely beaten and humiliated guy. One day, Louis has a chance to report to your survival home on Homeland. The government considers it who died during the battle. He is offered to send a second message which contains an anti-American propaganda. Being a patriot loyal for the country, Louis Zamperini refuses this and returns to camp. In his camp waits Bearded and Mitsuhiro Watanabe. Being offered by Louis' act, he orders to hit a man to everyone imprisoned in the camp. Prisoners cannot argue with the corporal and over again inflict hitting the athlete while he is being held camp workers. 2 years, Zamperini works in the camp more. Corporal Watanabe is promoted to a higher rank and goes to another military camp, leaving the current one. Coming soon to Tokyo, the bombing falls, all prisoners of war are decided transferred to another camp. On the street, Chief the hero meets the cruel again Corporal Watanabe. Japanese commands prisoners and manages their work on a coal barges. Prisoners of war are not spared. Louis is not withstand such a load and take decision to stop for a while. Such a Japanese corporal notices the trick. This infuriates him and he decided punish Zamperini. Mocking a man, Watanabe gives the order to raise and hold a large beam. On the life of an athlete is worth the stake, because if he will lower it, the guard was quickly deprive the man of life. Despite his exhausted state, he still managed to hold the bar. Watanabe irritated by such strong stamina Zamperini. Louis does not lose his pride and looks the corporal straight in the eye. The act becomes the last straw for Japanese. He severely beat the young man, and soon the war comes to an end. Gathering captives in the square, they are told this news. They are invited to swim in the river, but then the US Army arrives. Americans successfully occupy Japan camp, leading the prisoners to the street. Captives becomes free. Before leaving home, Louis Zamperini decided to find Mitsuhiro Watanabe so he can carry punishment for their actions. But soon it turns out the former corporal has already hid. But the athlete finds photo of a little Mitsuhiro. On it picture for a child standing with the by father. Athlete Louis Zamperini returns to his native America. He kneels down and touches lips for the native land. Louis at last reunites with his family. In the end of the film shows the events that actually happened after the passage of the war. Louis Zamperini took to wife a good woman who gave him 2 children. His friend Phil also survived and married. Mitsuhiro Watanabe nicknamed that the bird his for many years from justice, despite the fact that he was included in the list 40 most wanted military Japanese criminals. Louis Zamperini again took part in Olympic torch relay during Winter Olympic Games in Japan. After that time, he was 20 years old. Zamperini ran a distance in a place near his former military camp. Did you like the movie? Tell us your opinion in the comments below this video.